2 national champions on the desk in Studio B today. Her name is Courtney Wayment, NCAA record holder, and yes, champion in the steeplechase. Courtney, welcome, welcome.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
How'd that BYU Sports Nation karma treat you on the track?
You know what? I think it's treating me well. I appreciate it. Hopefully, now that my career's done, it'll bleed onto other people so they can get that karma too.
It does seem to move around.
It does.
Karma.
Yeah.
What does it feel like? What does it feel like to be a national champ?
It's special. It's something it's hard to do, and it's not always guaranteed, and a lot of things have to line up, and the stars kind of have to align, and so, it's special.
Why did it work out so well? Like you said, the stars have to align, things have to go just right. Like, why was it the perfect day and the perfect run? What happened?
I think for me, it was pouring rain, so in that aspect, it wasn't a perfect day, but Coach Taylor has prepared me so well that she came up with a race plan that, we both felt really confident in, and I knew that Coach Taylor had prepared me in such a way that it didn't matter what any of the external factors look like, that I was going to be able to execute a race plan because of how much Coach Taylor has prepared me. So,
have you stopped yourself and allowed yourself to just say, I am the fastest woman in America?
I think I don't know if I've processed all of that stuff, but I think something that I've learned in the last year especially is that nothing's guaranteed, and so it's awesome that I ran these fast times, but that doesn't mean anything's guaranteed in the future for me.
When you're up 9 seconds, you beat everybody by 9 seconds. Now, we're not distance runners, so
shocker.
If I look in my rearview mirror and a car's 9 seconds behind me, I can relate to that. There's no one behind you for 9 seconds, so who's pushing you to run faster when you have your opponents are like way back there? How'd that work?
I think a lot of it is just from the heart and Coach Taylor. Every lap, I would come off the water jump and I would look for Coach Taylor. And
can you hear her? What's she saying?
Oh, yeah. Different things like perfect, find your rhythm. She would tell me numbers of, the splits I was hitting and
so do you have an earpiece? Can you hear it? Can she talk to you while you're going?
No,
like a quarterback?
No, but I think
turn left. Turn left.
Yeah, I think if you listen closely, you could probably hear her in the video. So, but yeah, I think a lot of it just comes from the passion and the love that I have for the steeple. I really, truly love the steeple, and it's so much fun. And so I find so much joy competing in it. And I think there were so many moments where I didn't get the opportunity to compete in it. Yeah. And so I think that propels you, when you're solo like that.
Incredible. Courtney Wayment with us on BYU Sports Nation. Just won a national championship and broke an NCAA record in doing so in the steeplechase. I love the journey that track and field athletes specifically go on, because you're enjoying this super high, this ultimate triumph, but that doesn't mean there haven't been some incredibly difficult moments and times and almost like a bottoming out. So what was the bottom for you that led to the ultimate rise? What was the most challenging part of all of this for you, pushing you to become the greatest?
Are you meaning this season?
Could be this season. It could be anywhere in your athletic career. You can, if you can pinpoint something.
Was there a time where you go, you know what, I should do foosball?
Maybe I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, there was an experience. It was one time after my sophomore year. I had been dealing with a nagging injury that just seemed to not want to go away. And I had called Coach Taylor one night, and I just felt like my dreams were escaping, and I felt like, because this injury had been nagging so long, I wasn't going to get the opportunity to compete anymore. And so I had kind of made a comment, I did make a comment that, maybe I don't want to run anymore. And she was so understanding and she was so patient, but she still believed. Even in the moment that I didn't believe in myself, she believed in me. And I think about that moment a lot. And that's one of the key points for me that really changed the path that I was headed on for running.
Wow.
So I'm really grateful for Coach Taylor.
Let's talk about the path, because now you're heading into the professional ranks. You get to go back there in a couple of weeks, right? Mm-hmm. And try to make the U.S. team. Mm-hmm. And then head off to, things are ahead like the Olympics. What's it look like for you?
Yeah, so hopefully here soon I will, announce a professional contract, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
And, and I'll stay here and I'll join my past teammates and now new teammates, Whitney and Anna. And, hopefully do what I can to achieve goals like, making an Olympic team and making the U.S. teams. Those are big goals. And so, it's time to get back to work.
Sure.
Put my head back down and keep going.
Yeah. Well, what is the next big goal? What's the next immediate goal for you?
Yeah, so normally I don't talk about goals. I feel like it's kind of not a secret at this point. Next week I compete, like you said, at USA's, and so, hopefully make a team, and
Okay.
that would be the goal.
And the USA's just happen to be on the same track you were just on. Mm-hmm. So if we can get some rain over there.
Yeah, is that advantageous to
Can
you
we
at
get
all?
some
Do you feel
rain
like,
there?
hey, I just ran here, I just ran this race, I was just so awesome? Do you feel like you have an advantage?
I feel like, I know a lot of people have run on that track too, but I feel like I'm a little more prepared, and if whatever the conditions are, the prelims at NCAA's, it was really hot, and then the finals, it was rainy. So I feel like I'm a little prepared in that aspect, but there's magic there, and there's magic with Coach Taylor. So I think hopefully it should turn out well.
Most people don't win national championships. And even fewer, it seems, go to the Olympics.
I mean, you've won 4.
And you've got 4.
You've won 4, but this was the first outdoor, so we're,
Yeah.
So you got a bunch. What would it mean to run for the country someday in the steeplechase?
I think that's, one of the highest honors there can be to represent this country. And there's a lot of really cool things, but I think that would be one of the highest honors to, represent the country.
Yeah.
You realize that you have the ultimate one-upper scenario, right? Like, people talking about all the great things that they've done and places they've been, you're like, I'm a 4-time national champion and a 6-time All-American.
I don't even need a car. I can just run there.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. Now, we were trying to figure out, like, we know you broke the record, but the articles that we were reading, we couldn't figure out if, like, you'd just beaten everybody by 9 seconds or if you broke the NCAA record by 9 seconds. So can you clarify on that?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. I think I beat the next collegian by 9 seconds,
Yes.
but I broke the NCAA record by like 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was so close. That's
Yeah.
why it was a little confusing.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
Yeah.
how did it work? But it was kind of both.
Yeah.
So the second place finisher was running a really good time.
Oh,
that's what
she
you're telling us.
Yeah, she ran an incredible time. She had an incredible race, and it's cool to see other people reaching their dreams too.
And think about, there's a lot of Americans that have come before you, and you're the 5th fastest to ever run this race. Like that's a lot.
Yeah. Can
That's
we
fantastic.
just be incredulous
Isn't that
for you?
amazing?
You're so nice.
You're just
It
like
is.
whatever. Like we can't believe it.
We're just spitting out facts. There's you, 4 others, and then the rest of all Americans
Yeah.
running this race.
Yeah. I think it's special. It's something cool. It's something that I obviously when you're dreaming, you always dream big, but like it's cool to see it to some parts starting to come to fruition. And, I'm really grateful for everything, but I feel like I'm just now starting my journey in the steeplechase. So I'm excited.
If you're just beginning, then it's been a really good start.
Things are going pretty good. What about the team you're leaving behind? It seems like track and field and cross country gets stronger and stronger every year. They're running around town all the time. We try not to hit them as we're driving our cars.
Yep.
What's the future look like for BYU?
I think the future is so bright. There are so many incredibly talented, tough, and passionate women on this BYU women's distance team. And I think that they have a very bright future, and I'm so excited to see what they do. They're going to do great things.
Sure. We've seen a national championship in cross country as a team, obviously several individual national champions in track and field and cross country. This team finished number 9. Is it beyond the reach of Diljit Taylor and BYU women's track and field to win an outdoor track and field national championship? Like, can you envision that?
I think that there shouldn't be any ceilings put onto the potential of any of these teams. Our entire track team as well as our women's distance squad. I think that's the beauty that Coach Taylor has helped us grow in the last 6 years that she has been here and I've been here, is that we don't need to put a ceiling on our limits. And so I think the sky is the limit for us. And so I think they can put their head down and work, and I think great things will come.
Fantastic stuff. Just don't big time us, okay? All right. We know you got everything going
This
for you.
show's always here.
We're out.
You know where it is.
Don't worry.
Don't forget your
Just
roots.
come in whenever you want.
Don't worry. We're here in Provo. We love it.
I love it. Courtney, thanks. Congratulations
Thank you.
again. We appreciate you putting up with us
Fantastic.
multiple times.
Well done.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Coming up.